They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. The unburied dead are coming back to life, seeking human victims.
This week on a podcast from beneath, we discuss Cherokee Creek. I'm here with Billy.
How's it going?
And Eric.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Beards and Oh, I'm sorry.
Wrong show.
Guys, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You've been gone for a while, so.
Maybe you got attacked by a bear.
Yeah, that was a pack of wolves.
Oh, a pack of wolves.
Or dogs. It was just regular dogs.
Yeah, you just got attacked.
That just sounds tiers above bear rapery, so yeah. By all means.
So, how's it been going on the other podcast?
We have a really good system, and we can just pump these things out. We usually have one or two in the can, so it's never really a chore to make. So it's good stuff. Thank you.
That's where we need to be on this one.
Yeah.
We need to have two in the can.
Two in the can.
Maybe an upper decker.
Triple.
Well, I mean, you do have to, in order to do that, we did have to take a hit timeline-wise and take like an extra week where we didn't have any content, but now that we have this like nice little rotation, if something does come up, we're covered.
Right, and then now you've moved everything over to you. You're just on YouTube, correct?
Yeah, it's a lot easier for people to access. They don't have to download any kind of app. Everybody has YouTube on their phone regardless. So we're flourishing over there. So I appreciate it.
There you go. And what was your last episode on?
Depending on when this is going to air, probably it'll be Ghostbusters 2. It airs Monday, the 20th.
Yeah. So this episode will be out Wednesday.
Yeah.
So there you go. And then Billy, what have you been up to since last time we talked?
Just working, man.
And then waiting on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You think you're going to be disappointed?
I don't know. I mean, the only complaint I have is they kind of rushed a little bit, but like, I'm fine with what happened to people in the show, like so far.
Yeah, a lot of people are mad at this show.
It's because
it's getting the same treatment that the Last Jedi got, and then. Oddly enough, the writers
deserved it.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying it's getting the same kind of heat. With petitions to get it remade. And then what's weird is the guys that are writing Game of Thrones are doing the next Star Wars trilogy. So, so like Game of Thrones fans and the pissed off Star Wars fans are gonna like come together and try to get everything.
I think people who are upset over TV shows kind of fizzling out or not ending the way they want to.
Because I'm saying, they're mad. Like, oh, I wanted this to happen to the character, or oh, you should have made the character do this. It's like, no.
Well, the way I understand it, I haven't watched it for like I said, I've only watched like maybe 2 seasons. But from what I understand is, I guess HBO had planned on 10 seasons, and then the writers who I guess. What's the guy that wrote it? J.R. Martin?
George R.
Martin. He gave exclusive writing to these guys. Like, no one else is allowed to do it. And then they backed out. They're like, no, we're done now. So I guess that's why this last season was just everything condensed. Stuff that they were planning on doing. And I guess it feels kind of rushed. I guess maybe people feel cheated that way.
Well, I don't like most of the complaints that I've read or heard personally. It hasn't been that they've condensed a bunch of material. It's just that it hasn't been ending the way they wanted. Yeah. I understand that, like, the characters, that you've watched for years and years and years and things like that. It's kind of weird that they don't kind of get that amazing ending like everybody else does. But what people don't understand is that when the difference between a movie and a television show is that. When you have a series going on this line, that's a lot of content. That is like hundreds of hours of content. It's really hard to tie everything up neatly for every series. Like, not every series is going to be like a Breaking Bad, where it's like a nice little package wrapped up, in your little meth can, and it's good to go. So
Yeah, and plus these are based on the books, and we all know that the books are better than the movies or the TV show because there's a lot of stuff in the book that.
And he still got to write 2 books. He still got 2 books of it coming out. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, what I'm trying to say is that when you have something going on that long, it's more about the journey than the destination.
Yeah.
Correct.
And people will feel that when time passes and stuff. They'll look back and be like, okay, it wasn't that bad, and they'll watch it all again, and it's just like a nice journey.
Yeah, but I definitely don't. The whole petition to have them redo this last season to me is just ridiculous.
Like they're going to be like, you know what? You're right, guys. We'll put Star Wars on a hold, and we'll spend another $100 million for this season, and we'll make it 10 episodes.
No. Just give those fucking basement nerds like $20 to make it in their mom's backyard, and that'll be the actual canon season 8, and not that horseshit they have on HBO.
There you go. All right. Well, since you haven't seen it yet, and there's nothing to spoil, I guess we'll go ahead and move into some news.
Medical authorities in Cumberland have concluded that in all cases, the killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered.
I'm not surprised by this one, but Child's Play is getting an R rating. Did anybody think that it wouldn't?
Yeah, I honestly thought it was going to get a PG-13. I'm like, fucking course.
It's getting an R, so I just wonder. Because I was trying to remember if the original had a lot of. I know it had some death, some kills in it, but were they gruesome? Yeah,
I want to say. I mean, he choked that one lady out, the teacher, I think. Strangled her.
There's a lady who threw herself out of a window.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is getting an R rating. I don't know if I'm still excited for this one or not.
Chucky Chucky is kind of like in the zeitgeist of horror genre, but it's not quite as strong as like a Freddy or a Jason. So, I mean, at this point, they can kind of take some creative liberties and probably do a good job.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because it's not... In this one, he's not possessed. He's just AI, I guess, that goes horribly wrong. And he's kind of like the doll is like an Alexa, so it's connected to everything. So.
Yeah, and I feel like not only does it update it, but it also kind of... Okay, so the Child's Play movies kind of wrote themselves into the corner because, they just had to strive for a reason to get that guy's soul back into a doll and stuff like that. This way it's like more autonomous,
Correct, yeah.
He's just doing it because he just hates everybody.
Yeah. And of course my biggest what I'm most excited for is the Mark Hamill doing the voice.
Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't sound like the Joker because I haven't heard his voice yet.
You get to hear like one of the trailers. He says, "Goodbye, Andy," or something like that.
No.
One of the trailers. I can't remember which one. Well, apparently there's another trailer. I think he actually talks a little bit more, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm trying to stick because that first trailer they released, it showed a lot, so I'm just staying away from the rest of them.
I don't know. Like, is this the role that Aubrey Plaza makes that she doesn't play the same character?
Could be. I don't know.
This time she's a mom, so she's an awkward mom.
Yeah, she's an awkward mom.
But I think this movie has the benefit of being, or the production either starting or kind of continuing when it came out, because it was a huge deal. Like the ripple effect of that movie, I don't know how to explain it. Like it was like a fantastic package of a movie, like quality-wise. So I feel like, I guess reimaginations, reiterations, or remakes, whatever you want to call it, have the benefit of like looking to something like it nowadays and kind of like taking notes from that and being a better film because of it.
It was good, wasn't
it? The sequel's coming out this year. It's.
Oh yeah, you saw that? What was it on Conan O'Brien?
Yeah, Bill Hader.
It Chapter 2 It's or something. It's man, they picked the perfect person to play Richie Tozer.
Yeah, I can't believe it's coming out in September. Like I thought it was gonna be sooner than that, but
No, that's so they can get the October crowd.
yeah. All right, so the next story I have is Saw is also getting rebooted, and
Again.
it's written by Chris Rock. Yes, that Chris Rock,
Oh, great.
the comedian.
He makes like a horror comedy.
I don't know if it'd be a horror. I don't know if it'd be a comedy. Yeah, I was thinking about it today because I was like, well, what's the problem with him doing it? Because what if he's just a fan of those movies and that's what he wants to do? So
Well,
it'd be no different than Danny McBride writing Halloween.
Well, Chris Rock had made a movie a few years ago that was really good. Or supposedly really good. It was called I think Top 5 or something like that. He wrote and directed it.
I'm kind of curious why they handed that movie to him. Is it because he's just a comedian, and then because Jordan Peele knocked it out of the park twice?
Yeah.
No, I think
he's kind of like
he
him.
wrote a script and turned it in, and they were like, "Sure, go." I guess they liked it that much.
That has to be in the shadow of Jordan Peele. That has to be.
Well, I'm sure it is, but I'm just wondering what.
He's paving the door for more people of color to actually have a chance to make, movies that a wider audience can see, instead of being this indie movie that only a few people see, something that you just see on accident ends up being real good. Like, oh shit, I didn't even know this movie existed.
So I guess next we'll have to wait and see what Dave Chappelle is gonna do.
Oh god, Dave Chappelle's A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, so I'm that's kind of interesting. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I wish it was something. I wish he was doing something original, and I don't know if it's a remake or if he's continuing on the story or if he's doing a.
Well, I mean, it'd be like
a
the second
reboot with his putting his own. He's supposed to have some kind of twist on his, which I mean, it's the Saw movie, so
the twist is you're just the twist is you're just trapped in a room with Chris Rock doing his shtick for an hour and a half.
No, what it is at night this guy just turns into a human saw.
it turns into what?
A human saw, like a saw.
Oh, is it going to be super? It's going to be super literal, like a guy loses his sight. He saw.
Yeah.
The next remake we're getting is Wrong Turn. Is getting a remake.
I can see that. That wasn't a huge blockbuster. So
no, it was pretty popular, but it wasn't. I mean, I guess it probably had a wider audience on home video.
I think it'll
that first time 5 years ago. It wasn't bad. It was okay.
That series didn't get good until what's his name from Black Flag? Henry Rollins walked in.
Rollins, yeah.
Well, I think it was the second one. The first two aren't bad. But I never watched any of the others.
I think I watched just the first one. I didn't watch any of the sequels of it.
But I think it could have the same splash as The Hills Have Eyes or something.
Yeah, I wish they wouldn't do the killers. I wish they weren't mutated like they were in the first. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just make them regular West Virginian people.
So crackheads
that are just crazy. Yeah, just do crackheads.
So just crackheads.
Yeah.
So they didn't get mutated by a nuclear plant or whatever. It's just meth.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah.
And they make moonshine. That's how they make their money.
No. That's how they went blind and saw.
Yeah. And I was going to mention this in the last episode, but it slipped my mind. The star of New Year's Evil, which is one of our favorite films that we covered on here, Kip Nevin, he passed away last week. So there goes our sequel that we were going to do.
I'm not even sad.
Are you not?
No.
We were going to redo that. We were going to make a sequel.
We can still make a sequel. Hell, we can remake the movie.
What does get a guy that looks like Kip Neville? Is that his name?
Nevin?
Nevin?
Kip Nevin?
No.
Kipper.
First of all, who names their kid Kip? What kind of asshole parent?
Somebody's gonna get haunted by Kip or whatever his name is tonight. He's like, make fun of my name, Eric.
Whatever.
I can only think of one other Kip, and that's Kip Winger, right? Lead singer
Is
of
that
Winger. But now is his name Kip?
Is that better?
Yeah, I didn't say it was better. It's just the only other one I can think of.
No.
Oh man, we're talking about him. He haunts us, makes us watch his movie New Year's Evil the whole time. It's like, no, please stop. I'm sorry.
Or like they'll find that he made one by himself.
Yeah.
He made the
His
sequel by
sequel.
himself in his house. And somebody finds the tape.
It was like him and mannequins.
Oh, okay, I get it. For a second, I was just like, what?
Yeah. All right, then finally, if you have any, are you guys fans of the full moon movies?
I like the subspecies films.
So Charles Band, which is he done a lot of the films there. They're doing the Deadly 10, and this is 10 movies, 10 directors, 10 original films, and they're all being shot this year.
So one of them's bound to be good. That's just
Yeah.
statistics.
Well, they're doing a Blade, which is the puppet from the Puppet Master movies. This would be just about him. Sorority Babes and the Slime Bowl World-O-Rama 2.
Oh my god, I got that. I mean, they're remaking that.
Yeah, well, they're making a part 2.
Oh. Is Hal Haven's going to be in it?
I'm not for sure. They're doing a Bride of the Head of the Family. They're doing another Halloween Night.
Come on,
God.
man.
And my favorite one, they're doing another Subspecies 5. Blood
With
Rise.
Steve Gutenberg. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
No, but they're doing it,
Full Moon's gone downhill when it comes to production. I remember we picked a movie one time on Netflix when they had a bunch of those Full Moon movies, and it was fucking awful, dude.
Yeah, but they're filming, like I said, they're filming all 10. They're all coming out, I think they're all coming out this year. But you can go on their website and you can watch them film the movies. They're going to have like videos of like behind the scenes stuff. And so that's something I'm going to check out. Because I was a big fan of like all the Full Moon movies growing up.
I mean, I'd be a little curious to see how they make those movies, because sometimes I feel like it was just them like farting in their hands and throwing at each other for like 4 hours.
Or they just saw like an abandoned building. It's like, all right, the whole movie's gonna be here,
No problem.
right here.
But yeah, the Subspecies that's definitely the one I'm excited for. I like those original ones. And I think they're getting the original actor back to play in it also.
I'm sure. I think it's the only thing he's ever done.
You know, as long as he can get the day off from Walmart, he'll be fine.
Right.
Yeah. He's like, you may not remember me. He's like, ah. No, dude. I was the vampire. I was Vadu. I think was his name or whatever.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Or like they try to get this like guy who's like a B actor, but Nick Cage shows up. God damn it! Who let Nick Cage on the set again?
He's got it. He's Radu. He's Radu. You play him. All right.
All right. Well, that's all the news I have. Unless you guys have something else that I forgot.
Horror movie wise, I can only think of one thing. Disney acquired 20th Century Fox a couple weeks ago, like completely, and they've greenlit more Alien movies.
I did hear about that. Have they? I mean, have they said anything about them or?
No, they haven't
Just that they're
scheduled
doing
anything, but they are doing them. Yeah. So they'll probably see them like 2022, something like that. Because they gotta fart out them Avidize, and they gotta fart out them Star Wars, and they gotta do all that stuff.
Yeah. Bottom out each way.
They definitely have a lot. They definitely have a lot on their plate right now. Of course, they've got the money for it. They're good.
Oh yeah, Robert Pattinson's playing Batman.
we're talking about horror, like horror news, not horrible news.
Horrible,
What is
yeah.
this?
The guy that did The Witch, his movie apparently is getting fantastic reviews. It's called Lighthouse, and it has William Dafoe and Batman himself, Robert Pattinson.
I don't know. I kind of hope that that's not a true. I don't know. I mean, I'd hate to say that.
I mean, people talk shit
I've
with
never
Heath
seen
Ledger.
him. I've never seen him in anything. So I've never seen the Twilight films, and I've never seen anything that he's in. So I don't know how he is as an actor. I can't say by personal experience.
That movie, Good Time, I think it's on either Hulu or Amazon. That's supposed to be like a really fantastic film that he was in. And then, what else? He did High Life. It's some sci-fi movie that's coming out. Apparently that's pretty good.
Well, I have nothing against him. I'm just being an asshole. Like, I'm honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give him a chance. I mean, people talk shit when Heath Ledger was cast as the Joker. They're like, what? That guy?
That was lightning in a bottle, though. Like, when has like an actor proven him or herself since like
nobody?
Like, completely redefined a character to where like an entire generation thinks of you as that character.
Nobody else. But yeah, that's all the news.
All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and jump into our review of 2018's Cherokee Creek. This was written, directed, and stars Todd Jenkins. A bachelor party in the woods gets crashed by the ultimate party animal, Bigfoot. Billy, go ahead and start off and tell us what you thought of this one.
All right.
Gotta crack the knuckles.
All right. Thought.
Where'd you? Oh.
Yeah, you were fading out there.
I really thought this movie was just one long dick joke the whole time. like there were some funny parts, like the one where he told that guy, "Hey, if you give me $40, I'll sign your stuff," and he just does a line and like leaves before the picture gets taken. I thought that was okay. I thought it was pretty funny.
If only it didn't take like 20 minutes for it to get there.
Yeah, and I mean, some of the gore effects I guess was okay, and like I had to wait forever for Sasquatch to really do anything. It's basically that guy, his bachelor party in the woods, and his girlfriend leaving him 1,000 voice messages. I'll never get that hour and 58 minutes back.
It's longer than that. It's like an hour 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's 112 minutes. 100.
I mean, I thought it was gonna be good.
I thought it was going to be a movie, to be honest. This was garbage. Wow, I killed Billy. I'm sorry.
And I didn't really get the opening where they had the masks on. I was like, what is this?
Oh, that's just like their shtick, you know. Like, I forget what the other brand of, like, horror group of people. He always has, like, he pops up with, like, his mohawk. He's like, how's it going, bloodhounds? You know, it's just like a thing. They're just trying to appeal to a market, really.
There's really not much to say. I had a hard time, like, really getting into it. I had to stop it a few times, like slap myself. I was like, okay, come on, skip through this. I think they were trying too hard to be offensive, kinda, and they were trying too hard to be funny and like raunchy and stuff.
Yeah, I agree with a little bit of that. I feel like they tried to make like a Quentin Tarantino like paced movie, like with the dialogue and stuff, but it all just came off of like really contrived and stupid, and actually just kind of embarrassing to watch.
Like that dude always wanting to jerk off.
Yeah, I'm just like, what'd you do? Like copy that character from San Andreas? And it's like, that's funny. Dick joke.
I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was
Carrie's writing our names down, or he's like drawing us, like him hanging us and stabbing us.
No, I mean, it's fine if you didn't like it. I liked it though. I thought it was a fun movie. Of course, going into it, I know it's low budget, independent. But I thought that they done a really good job.
I cannot be like super sincere right here.
Yeah,
Why did you like it? Why did you like it? What made this a good movie for you?
I like the characters. Vinny Blades was definitely my favorite character. I thought the dialogue for this. Yeah, I get when you said it was kind of Tarantino-ish. I kind of got that too, especially with the opening when they're in the van.
Well, I want to just backpedal a little. I'm not saying it was Tarantino-ish. I said they tried to write like
yeah,
Tarantino
that's
movie.
what I meant. That's what I meant. I mean, it had that,
and it just came off as all horse shit. Like scenes kept going on for way too long because of just like dialogue back and forth, and the jokes never really added up. But by all means, keep going. Like I didn't mean to, because I'm absolutely curious because this was such a piece of dog shit. It took me like 3 tries to get through all of it, and the third try I just skipped through the last bit of the movie.
Yeah, like I said, I like the characters. Some of the scenes were a bit long. I think they could have edited some of it down.
100%.
Add more Bigfoot, I think. So, like, like I said, I feel like it wasn't in the movie all that much. To me, really.
Well, I mean, he wasn't enough. Like he killed every character except for 2, but I think maybe the kills are spread out too far. You think, and just made it feel like.
Well, it's not even interesting though. Like you don't care about the characters enough to be invested in anything, and none of them really stood out except for fucking Blades because they said his name like 1,000 fucking times.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember any of their names really?
Yeah, Sandy Blades, Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx and Park Ranger. Right? Or did they give her a name? She's like, yeah, I seen all. I'm gonna get your name tattooed on my chicks.
Yeah, I don't think she actually had a name.
Oh,
like the character didn't have a name. I don't believe so.
That fucking Vinny Blades is such a dick. Man, pull out. He like opens the condom and throws it. And I was like, that dude's a dick.
I have a feeling she wasn't a real police officer. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, she probably wasn't.
She was the worst park ranger, right? Park ranger, or was she? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she was just a cop, I guess. I don't know. She was just there for whatever reason.
That's all I know is Jinx, Vinny Blades, and the park ranger.
I'll give one prop to this movie. The main guy who set up like the party in the woods. I'll just call him Kirk Hammett. Kirk Hammett was like legitimately trying. Like he was the best actor out of the group, Yeah,
that was Todd Jenkins. Well, the character's name was Jinx. That was Todd. He was the writer and director, and I think he done the editing on it.
Well, he had the most charisma out of the bunch for sure. I felt like everybody else just like reading their stuff off a cue card sometimes, especially when they were in the woods. I was just like, oof. Big oof.
And who's that one guy like they all hated? It's like, why'd you invite him? Was he the guy like was like pissing on everything?
Yeah, I didn't even understand that. Like, was that a prank?
Dude just being an asshole. Yeah, but piss on everything. Even though I'm stuck here with everybody, I'm gonna sleep in a camp full of piss.
You fucking got him.
But the Bigfoot came to, oh, I'm sorry, I'll clean it up or something. That's what he said. And he didn't know it was the Bigfoot and fucking killed him.
Yeah, it's whatever. There's a lot of whatever in this movie. Like, I'm not, like, throwing this movie under the bus just to spite it. It was genuinely just not a very good movie. Like, it was just tough to watch. Like I said earlier, it was a little embarrassing. I was just like, yikes.
Alright, if you had to choose this or TerraVision, what would it
TerraVision.
I would choose this one. Yeah. I really like I said, I like the I'm a fan of like independent, like low budget, like
no.
And
by all means. Oh, sorry,
Yeah, I
not to
know.
interrupt again.
No, I was
But
gonna
like,
say-
no, congratulations to the team
Yeah.
that got their movie distributed. Like, I'm looking at a copy right now, signed by everybody, which is Carrie's copy, so I could watch it. No, good for them. Like, this is awesome. It has like an official Blu-ray case and everything. Fantastic. But it's not good. That's my opinion, but still, it's just
right,
like,
yeah.
I really hope they take whatever criticism and whatever money they make off of this and focus on making a really awesome follow-up project, because this was it was so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's iffy with me when it comes to, like, really independent films. Like, what's that real independent film? Was it Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things or something? Or, well, no, Redneck Zombies, a trauma film. I can't even watch that. I tried to watch it. I think it's the quality, like how the movie. It was, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Like, you see like similar movies with the same budget, not quite the same genre, and they're very good. Like, I watched Bo Burnham's Eighth Grade a couple weeks ago. Fantastic picture. Very little. Well, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's very good for what it is. There has to be some kind of like disjointed something in like the production. I don't know. Like, I just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't either. No, I can't put my finger on it.
Like, is this like a product of like, well, we just made what we had with what we had?
Or they might have spent a little bit more money on, like, the gore. I mean, the gore wasn't bad. I didn't think the gore was terribly bad.
But one of the gore effects was repeated. That little fake hand or whatever was used again when the guy lost his hand to the bear trap. That was the same prop.
Yeah, I definitely like the practical effects are really good. At the beginning when the guy gets his neck gashed open.
He's like, drink the piss. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
I had two issues with that whole scene. One, why wait until you're fucking out there to explain the rules? And two, how come the piss jug was already almost full?
Yeah, I was like, how did he sneak pee in? Like, that boat was so small. He just thought, I didn't feel like dumping it out. I thought we'd get thirsty. That's one thing that Sasquatch does not like. Other people's piss.
You didn't even say why. It's just a rule.
Yeah. Only he could pee there. Oh, you think you're alpha male? It's a territorial thing. Has these guys made any other films, Gary, that you know, that you've seen?
Made? I don't know. I know they've starred in other things. I think this may have been their first movie. I think that they wrote and directed. But like I said, I know they've starred in other things.
But like I said, if the jokes had landed, and some of the actors acted a little bit better, and it wouldn't, if some of them didn't try so hard, or I don't know, it had potential. That potential died out real quick. I was like, oh, come on.
I think this picture was just flat all around. Like, everything just from the basic production to like the higher end stuff, I guess, like acting and whatnot. The effects, I mean, the practical effects were just fine, I guess, serviceable. I mean, there was a shot of like poop had landed on the ground. That was
That's one thing. I guess that's probably one of the other things I didn't care for, because I'm not a big fan of like shit humor. Whenever movies have when they use like shit humor like that, unless it's Dumb and Dumber, then I'm fine with it.
Which one was the? Oh, you talking about the What?
Oh, that was a sequel, wasn't it? They just shit everywhere.
With the laxative.
Oh yeah.
In the first one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I think that made more sense in that one.
Yeah, that was more funny than it was. I think when other movies try to do like shit humor, it's just to be disgusting.
Can we talk about the level?
Fan on it.
Can we talk about the levels of shit humor? Like, Dumb and Dumber is pretty good, very well written, very smart, and you can even go as far as like that scene from Billy Madison's, like, he called the shit poop. Ha ha ha.
He called the shit poop.
See, just like that.
I just think the word poop's funny.
I'm a fan of the word dookie, but by all means, we all have our tastes and flavors here.
Like, no, literally, look at somebody and be like, poop. And see if they, like, don't fucking giggle or, like, smile or something. Poop.
It worked.
Poop.
But
So
I was gonna say back to what you were saying. I know I kept interrupting you. Just please keep going.
I forgot where I was at. But what I was saying was like as far as like low budget independent horror movies, every time that one gets made, it's a slasher. They always try to do because I guess that's easier. It's teens go camping and then they get killed by a slasher and they try to remake that. Where this one here was big, I got excited because it was Bigfoot. It was something different.
Yeah. But wouldn't Bigfoot be the slasher?
Yeah, but it's not like a
guy with a mask.
a guy with a mask on and a machete.
I guess so.
That's what you get in like every every independent horror movie.
I think,
and I get it because filming in the woods is you don't need a permit. You know what I'm saying? So it's easier. That's why a lot of independent films are done that way. But the fact that it wasn't just a regular slasher film is what I enjoyed. And I'm just a fan of like independent, low budget, probably more of a because it's what I always wanted to do and I can't do it, so I'm like living vicariously through the people that are actually somehow getting the funds together and attempting it. You know what I'm saying? And whenever one like this comes out, that I thought as far as like the the cinematography I thought was good for what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they had a drone and everything, so good for them. But no, I understand that. Like I said, like I mentioned earlier, congratulations to the guy and the team for getting this put together and like getting the distribution that it has. But I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. I feel like this movie is for the sake of being this movie. You know what I mean? Like I can read the back of the Blu-ray and it's like a 80s style raunchy horror comedy, I guess. I mean, it's almost like they just did that for the sake of doing that, I feel. But it doesn't have that like charm or anything. That's it. This movie lacks any kind of charm. It's just kind of like there.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand, like, it's not a slasher film because, that's, God, a lot of people's first horror movies, like, pretty much slasher film. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a big, heavy on indie films, or, like, that low budget. I don't know.
I think, how much was this movie made for?
I don't think they have it listed on.
Like a movie that had like this type of like quality, kind of maybe just a slightly little better that I actually thought was okay was maybe that zombie film The Battery.
Well, maybe that's what the next project should focus on. Like, just kind of focus on budget and creativity, kind of like that mixture of art and business, so they can kind of create this movie that doesn't really have to like fall apart at the seams or anything. It's kind of like the thing, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Maybe like make a smaller, more focused, great movie instead of making a movie just for the sake of making a raunchy throwback per se movie.
Quit trying to be raunchy to be raunchy. Let it come natural.
Well, I mean, you can be raunchy. There's room for everything that's on the back listed here, but when you watch a movie and then you think back, and their excuse is, "Oh, that's the way it's supposed to be," that's lazy.
Or you got that typical character that's fucking like, someone's got to jerk off in this movie. It's just what raunchy comedies have. Somebody jerking off.
Remember that scene in Porky's where he puts his thing in the hole?
Classic. But I give it to him though, like to actually get a movie out. That's fucking.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I mean, like Kim said, I
can never do that. I don't have the determination.
Well, just like Carrie said, I used to make like little poopy movies back in the day, and it was totally cool to have the idea of like maybe having something like this someday. but that doesn't mean they're like completely void of criticism.
That guy's gonna.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not
the
saying
guy's
it's
gonna
like,
get the Bigfoot outfit and kill me and Eric. This movie. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not saying it's like the perfect or like the best movie I've ever seen, but I really I rather enjoyed it.
I guess it just wasn't for me. I was
Same.
having a hard time trying to finish it.
I've watched it twice already, and I'll watch it again too.
And I'll watch it again. And I'll watch it again.
I don't know. It just.
Of course, this isn't the first movie that we've.
Oh no.
You got to remember, Hell House LLC was one that I liked, and you guys
No, I
completely
mean,
hated.
there was some stuff that was pretty good about that.
I would watch Hell House over this though. I don't know. It just this one seems not quite cynical. I don't know what it is. It just seems like this movie's kind of like a jerk.
Like I said, they tried. It's like they tried so hard. Like they forced it. Like, oh, be raunchy. We gotta do it because this is a raunchy play. We gotta do some raunchy shit. Come on, it's a raunchy comedy, raunchy horror comedy. Like I said, it's kind of forced, and it's like, oh, you're just doing that for the sake.
Do you think that happens on purpose, or do you think whenever, let's say you were writing a movie and you're going, let's go, because it's a lot of the 80s throwback, like we're doing we're homage to 80s slasher movies. They all have that same kind of almost like a template of, and there's always like comedy in it, but when you think about it, Friday 13th really didn't even have half the humor that a lot of these newer homage movies have. So do you think it's purposely done, or do you think that whenever they're writing it just comes out, like someone says, oh, this would be funny, and they just throw it in there because maybe it's their first time writing or something?
Well, that's what I was saying. This movie kind of feels like that. It just feels like it is the way it is because, what was it? Crap.
There really wasn't any setup for me for any of the launches of it. Like it just happened.
Well, I mean that's not like the big deal. Like I've watched a ton of like raunchy movies, and like the comedy works. It's fine. This one just seems. I don't know. It's just not good. Like there's hardly anything redeemable about it. Like the main actor, who I guess turned out to be the director, writer, and everything else, he was putting the most effort in this, in front of everybody. Like he seemed genuine. His lines didn't seem stuttery or ad-libby or anything. It just seemed on cue. He was really fun to watch. That's what I was trying to say. Whereas the rest of it's just really clunky.
I thought Billy Blair, the guy that played Vinny Blades, I thought he'd done a pretty good job.
I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. I just really hope that with this little bit of fame, I guess, because I do see this movie pop up in I've seen this in other movie review podcasts and
they'll have
YouTube,
a very small cult following. A very small.
I mean, it's fine. Well, the following, let them have their movie. Kara, you can have this movie. I got to give it back to Bill anyway to give it to you.
Yeah.
I just really hope this movie grants them the time, money, and resources to come back swinging. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like,
this movie was so flat in so many areas that I'm rooting for the filmmaker and them just to come back with something new and something a hell of a lot better. Like my heart's going out to you.
So that's all I gotta say about this movie.
All right, so that's 2 not recommends, and I give it a recommend.
Well, the little thing on the front cover by Pop Horror says, one of my favorite Bigfoot films ever. And between this and Harry and the Hendersons, there's not a whole lot to pick from, so I'm just saying.
You got the Boggy Creek. Was that Boggy Creek? Soggy Creek?
Boggy Creek.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it, but it pretty much is basically just like stories of people saying, and it's kind of reenactments, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I've never seen it.
I hadn't seen it. I mean, I have. I just haven't seen it.
I was gonna say something really mean about the movie, but you know, it doesn't really deserve it.
He's just thinking about incels the whole time.
Because I'm sitting here staring at the Blu-ray. I'm just like, man, they probably had fun making this movie, but it wasn't too fun to watch. I just really hope their next little venture just knocks it out of the park and just like
redeems himself.
Yeah, man. Like this kind of movie, Carrie was right. This is like if I would have kept making little movies, this is probably what I would have wound up making. And then some shithead on a podcast like I am starts pooping on it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I mean, for their first outing, I thought it was really good. I mean, like when I first watched it, going into it, I was like, this is probably going to be like really, really bad. Like, I'm talking like sci-fi channel horrible. Like, but I rather enjoyed it. I think it was more surprising of how much I enjoyed it, like the comedy and
I think the greatest strength this movie has is that it plays to its niche audience. Like there's an audience for movies like this.
And I'm that audience.
Yeah. And like a laser beam, this movie is just like directed towards them. So it will have its heyday no matter what.
The only people
go ahead. I got it. You know what this movie reminds me of? It reminds me of like a movie like FDR, American Badass.
Oh my God!
I've never seen that one.
Don't you ever speak of that
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
That movie, I have a copy of it at the house because I think it's fantastic. So I think I like that movie in the same way you like this movie. I think I'll let you borrow it if I can, and you'll probably agree with me after.
Maybe it'll be a future episode.
Oh my God, I totally forgot about that fucking movie.
It could be considered horror. There's a werewolf, Adolf Hitler, so maybe.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
That's all I need.
Like Kevin Sorbo as Abraham Lincoln. It's factual historical stuff. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right. So, Eric, where can they find your podcast and all of your information at?
You can find us on YouTube, Beards and Brews. Go check us out. We do stuff sometimes.
And Billy, where can they find you at?
You can find me at BathSaltWizard at Twitter.com.
Every time.
And you can find me at 1313 Inc. on Twitter. You can find the podcast on Twitter. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, and not really on Instagram much anymore, but we're still there. Then you can find Eric's show and the other show that's part of our network, the Program Podcast. You can find all that information at 1313inc.wordpress.com. And we still have t-shirts for sale. You can get those at our TeePublic store. And we still have the Patreon open if you want to throw us some money there. We'd be more than happy to take it.
More than having to spend it on booze and hookers from Cherokee Creek.
Well, I mean, coming from a guy who hosts a show where we drink all the time, by all means, give us some beer.
Yeah. Yeah, throw us some beer money this way. All right, and until next week, we'll talk to you later.